we are live. All right. Hello, everybody. Hi,
Hello.
Phoenix. Sorry for the delay. I think we got it more or less situated at this point.
Whoop, whoop.
And we're going to hit the ground running here. So,
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Lovecraft Tapes podcast. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore. And this is K17, Seance 9. Your investigators of the unknown are Brian as Ben.
I wonder if they'll have popcorn there.
Lupine as Rosa.
Do you still think I should cut my finger off? Like, that's an option, right?
And Matt as Diego.
Yeah, I really should have stretched a bit more before I started running. I feel like I'm going to pull a hammy.
Don't pull a hammy. What are you thinking? This ain't Denny's.
Pull a moon over my hammy.
Moon's over my hammy.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Moons.
some have said that capturing your... I'm sorry, I fucked that up. Some have said that capturing your image on film is your only chance to experience immortality. But the wise person knows that nothing lasts forever. Together, Rosa and Harcourt finish their search of the upper floors just as the mistress of the manor returns with a special guest in tow. Expecting to speak with an elder god, Ben instead communes with Eugene Eubanks, who provides more information about Ms. Devereaux. Narrowly escaping a cultist minion, Diego meets Lindsay in order to formulate a plan of action, though their lunch is rudely interrupted by twin thugs. Interrupted by the twin thugs, not just random ones.
Ew, those twin thugs.
Our investigators of the unknown are on the run yet again, though the time is drawing nigh to make a final stand. Else watch silently as Lilith's influence spreads far and wide across Hollywood. I don't know, I always say across Hollywood. There's no T in across.
That's true.
It is nearing noon on Friday, April 21st. Rosa finds herself on the threshold of the cultist compound, suddenly unable to move beyond the chapel doorway to join her friends, as the blood turns to ice in her veins. After escorting Cece out of the mansion with Harcourt's help, Ben turns back to witness his friend struggling against a supernatural infection that has rooted her to the spot.
I'm struggling. Struggle.
We'll remember you.
Diego uses Lindsay's distraction to run for it, fleeing Ricky's bar and grill with stolen film tucked under one arm, and hoping against hope for a miraculous means of extraction.
Parkour.
Rosa. Once upon a time, you were a very young girl growing up in Las Cruces, California.
That's usually how it works, yes.
In a household filled with love and understanding, surrounded by the warm, nurturing embraces of a tight-knit family. Back then, years before the tidal wave of impending adulthood crested higher than you ever would have imagined, the world seemed a simple place, without fear or consequence. That all changed the night after your 7th birthday, when something happened to disrupt the calm, idealistic bubble of your existence and showed you that something bad might be lurking in the darkness. You've kept it a secret all these years, never uttering a word to your parents or your friends, in constant dread that one day it would happen again. Tell us about that experience.
So I was 7, right? And so I um was in bed and getting ready for sleep, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, I felt like I had to look out the window. I had no real reason to look out the window. I didn't hear anything out there or anything. I just felt the need to go look out the window. And so, I mean, I did. And I looked out, we had the paddock full of goats and a little vegetable patch that my mother tended, and everything looked normal down there. And then our property backs up to the woods on one side. And so my eyes kind of, covered everything over away from the woods and then drifted towards the woods. And all of a sudden I saw this like dark shape near the woods. And it was vaguely human shaped, I guess. So I looked at it some more, and it was like a little kid. It was really weird, and so it was basically my age. And I looked out, and I saw this little kid, and all of a sudden it looked straight back at me, and I knew. And I don't know how I knew, but I knew it was Guillermo, my brother. But he died when we were like 1 year old. So, I mean, we were the same age. We're twins. So, but he was dead. And so this thing, I'd seen him die, and I'd held his body in my arms. I mean, I was the same age. We were 1 year old, but I was, snuggled up next to him, and I felt him die. And I remember, to the end of my days, I'll remember the very visceral feeling of him dying, that feeling of his life slipping away. And so I knew without a doubt he was dead. And yet I also knew without a doubt that this was Guillermo standing at the edge of the woods, a little like 7-year-old Guillermo. And then as I watched, the little figure melted. It just like melted into the ground and disappeared. And it melted sort of like it looked almost like if you leave a like a chocolate bunny from Easter in the sun, and you see the parts fall off, and you see the liquid chocolate sliding down the sides. That's how it looked. It looked like you'd left something chocolate out in the sun. And yeah, I've never shared it with anyone. 'Cause it sounds pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, that's something that happened to me.
Okay. Excellent. And as you stand there on the threshold to the exit of the chapel, looking out at Ben and Harcourt and Cece looking over her shoulder at you, wondering why you're not following them. And you are holding up your finger, which has that dark striation of something moving under your skin. you're immediately struck by that memory because there was something unanswered that night when you were 7. You looked out at the shade of Guillermo in the yard. Impossibly the same age as you, despite his having passed on when he was 1 year old. You've often wondered since then, did he continue to grow up as that shade in those intervening 6 years since he had passed, growing up alongside you somehow? And how would he have accomplished that? It made you question, was there life after death? Even at that young age, all of these questions came to the fore because you had been raised religious. Your mother and father attended church regularly. And you've heard tales of resurrection. You went to Easter services. You knew the concept. And yet you couldn't fathom why or how Guillermo continued to grow as a spirit in the darkness. Where had he hid all that time? And when you saw him decompose before your very eyes like a chocolate bunny in the sun, where did he go? You have spent all these years thinking about that. Where did he ultimately go? Because you haven't seen him since. And as you stare at this darkness creeping from within you, for just a moment you think, that's where he hid. He's been inside you this entire time. I will need you to roll for sanity upon recollection of this
Why?
memory.
Start out strong.
Mm-hmm.
That is a success. Ooh, I roll a 69.
Nice.
Internet numbers.
On an 80, so that's a success. That's a regular success.
So you struggle with this memory, but ultimately, as you see the concern on your friends' faces, you think maybe one day, maybe even one day soon, now that you found someone you could really open up to, it might be time to tell that tale to someone else and exercise it from your thoughts. It's time that you stopped living alone with these fears. And that's when you hear a voice behind you say, "Ah, Rosa, so nice to see you. Won't you stay for a while?" And Lilith puts a hand on your shoulder and draws you close as you stare out, paralyzed, at your friends' surprised faces as Lilith snaps her fingers and the chapel doors slam shut and the bolts engage.
I hope they run.
Oh, we will.
Ben, once upon a time, you were a young boy without a father. In your dreams, He was a super spy, traveling the world, vanquishing evil, and when you cried at night over his absence, you imagined he cried too. One day, you knew, he would return, and your family would be reunited. On your 7th birthday, your mother gave you a puppy she'd rescued from the pound. A Doberman Pinscher with a slight deformity of the left ear. You named him Otto because it was the same forward as it was backward, and that knowledge thrilled you for reasons you couldn't understand. But unfortunately, Otto wasn't destined to be part of your family for long. Tell us what happened.
Too painful.
Try.
I'll try.
For the sake of the podcast audience.
Oh shit, we're doing a podcast? I was over the moon when Mom got me the dog. I couldn't believe that I'd have something I could care for myself. Took him everywhere with me. It had only been about 6 months, and I was starting to teach him tricks and how to sit and wait and shake, all the basic stuff. And he was so smart, so smart. I thought, it's time. He can go with me into town when I go look for some magic stuff. So I started my walk to town along the tracks and followed me right by my side, like without even having to teach him. He was right there, right there. It was amazing. Just about a half a mile from town, he stopped. I didn't realize it at first. I walked maybe 10 yards or so ahead of him. And once I realized, I looked back, and he was turned facing down the side of the tracks into the brush, looking that way, not making a sound. No sound at all. And from what I remember, he looked at me, looked back at the brush, and ran full bore straight over the tracks down into the brush. But I don't remember ever hearing a sound. That was the strange thing. There was no sound. I don't know what it was. I immediately reactionary. I ran back, went over the tracks, which I was never supposed to go over the tracks, only alongside the tracks. And I went over the tracks, and I kept calling for Otto. Kept calling for him. But I heard nothing. And I started digging through the bramble and the brush, and I pushed my way down. I'm getting cut and scraped. I'm calling and calling, and at this point I'm screaming for his name. And I finally push through the brush. And there he is. But he's dead. Not just dead, but torn to pieces. There's nothing around. There's no sound. And there's no blood. They're literally just pieces. I immediately freaked out, turned, and bawling my eyes out, ran all the way home to tell my mom. And she went back out there with me. We went all the way to the exact spot. We crossed over. We went through the bramble, and there was nothing there. There was nothing in the dirt, no sign of anything. And she thought that I was irresponsible, and I let him out of my sight, and he ran away. And to this day, she still never believed me.
Okay. As you stand 1 foot back on the steps, intending to go to Rosa to help her move beyond whatever has frozen her to the spot, that memory surfaces, and you recall the pain and uncertainty you felt when you left Otto's shredded corpse in that brush to return with your mother. And then she accused you of abandoning the dog. And because you didn't find any remains, over time, you too began to wonder if what you saw was real. And as months went by, you kept hoping you'd see Otto peeking at you from the brush around town, from a bush next to the tracks. Because what if you had left him? On one hand, if he had encountered something that tore him to pieces, you were grateful for his protection and willingness to protect you at all costs, to put himself in harm's way. And it's been a big open question all these years. The dog is neither alive nor dead in your mind. Somehow, he has attained both. Ways of existence. And that same wave of guilt washes over you now as you see Lilith appear almost drifting from behind Rosa, as if her feet aren't touching the ground. And as soon as she raises her fingers to snap, you know what's coming next. You felt her magic and what she can do with it. So when the doors slam shut and a supernatural wind blows back in your face, causing you to stumble backwards and land on your ass in the dirt next to Harcourt and Cece, your overwhelming guilt is overridden by the word that Rosa spoke right before the doors close. You heard her say, "Run."
You fools.
You fool, fly, you fools. And that's when you begin to hear the yapping and snarling of dogs approaching quickly. All right, we'll move on.
Stay tuned next time for.
Yeah. And actually, we'll keep with you guys for a minute. Harcourt says, "Ben, are you okay? Come on, we gotta go. They have some things here that are not so friendly. Come on, help me with CC."
Okay, well, what are they? I'm gonna help pick up CC as we're talking.
You don't want to know, but we gotta get out of here. Do you said something about a car?
Yeah, there should be a car parked in the front. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, go.
And he begins to drag CC, limping along.
CC Rider.
Some help, Ben?
Yeah, no, I said I grabbed her up and we were going as we were talking. We were taking her.
Okay. All right, so the two of you escort Cece around to the front of the mansion. The dogs, or whatever they are drawing closer, and you see the yellow Mustang parked exactly where you had left, or she had left it.
Steal that shit.
Yep. Hopefully the keys are in it.
Suddenly, we're Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run up quickly with Cece and quick lift her up. Let's put her in the back seat and put her in the back.
Lift with your knees, not your back.
Yep. So the two of you manage to help her into the back seat where she slumps over beneath the tapestry.
Okay. And then I'm gonna jump in the driver's seat.
Let's go, Ben. What are you holding up?
We don't need roads.
Is this your car? This is really cool.
No, this isn't my car. Start the car.
Is there keys in it?
I don't know. That's why I'm trying to get to that point.
Well, you're supposed to ask that.
The shoe to drop.
You're supposed to ask that.
I was hinting at it by saying, boy, I hope the keys are in it. Are there keys in it?
So you check to see if there's keys in it, and yes, for some reason she left them in there.
Nice.
Where are we going, Ben?
Anywhere but here.
Nice. Well, what do you think? It's either the dorms or Odeon Studios.
I'll be Odeon.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Step on it.
I step on it.
And you accelerate along the driveway. You see in the rear view mirror 3 or 4 shapes that kind of look like oversized dogs, but there's something very wrong with them. They have bulbous, mutated heads and vertically slit maws, which are leaving gray ooze-like flaps of mucus flying behind them as they race toward the car.
Oatmeal.
Drive it like you stole it, dude.
Oh, I did.
And why don't you go ahead and give me a drive auto and just don't whatever you do.
Oh shit, there's an alligator.
Whatever you do, don't fumble.
I was waiting for the shoe to drop. The keys were in it. It was unlocked.
Just don't fumble.
Oh man, look at that guy with a shotgun next to you.
You're driving a car, dude.
Dude, where's my car?
I did not fumble. I needed a 40, rolled a 62.
All right. So you're driving along, and you're just about 30 yards from the exit to the gate there. The gate is actually opening somehow on its own, as if it is sensing the approach of the car. And a shape darts from your left-hand side right in front of the car. And just for a flash, you see a Doberman Pinscher.
Skeletor.
But it's quite large.
Okay.
And has that strange, deformed face. And then there's a thump and a squelch as it goes underneath your tires.
What the hell is that?
Go. You don't want to know. Jesus Christ. There might be more. Just step on it.
I'm going to gun it. I don't care if the gate's open or not, all the way.
And you fishtail a little bit going out of the gate and smack the wrought iron gate on your way out. And leave a big scratch on the side of the yellow Mustang. And
She's bad.
And knock one of the gates off its hinges. One of the hinges.
Out, dude.
That's fine. It just pounded out. It's fine.
We got a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you race towards Odeon Studios.
Okay.
Diego. Once upon a time, just before your 7th birthday, you did something very, very naughty. You took something you weren't supposed to. And when your parents found out, they were very angry, vengeful, and then, for the first time you can recall, cold, distant. It felt as though the thing you did somehow ruptured your relationship, not only to your mother and father, but also to the world. Suddenly, there were invisible restrictions that you hadn't known existed. You felt shame, an alien emotion that made your cheeks grow hot. Anger bubbled up from deep within. Who made up these rules? What gave them the right? Slowly, you became aware of other, more powerful forces at work in the universe. Tell us about your transgression.
Well, it's been a really nice summer day right after school had gotten out. I was really happy that I didn't have to go back. Being the new kid who's always on the move, I've never been very popular, nor have I ever been able to make friends. So really the only thing I've ever really had to keep me company, mostly was the TV set. I'd sit around and I'd watch anything that I could get. My parents weren't super attentive, being as busy as they were, both being in the military. And one of my favorite things to watch were crime shows, seeing the police run around, taking out bad guys, pulling out their guns and just blasting. It was always super fascinating to me. So, imagine my joy when I walk into my parents' bedroom one day and I notice that sitting out on my dad's desk is it's the thing that looks a lot like the things I see on TV. So being a kid, I of course walk over and pick it up. It's a lot heavier than it looks. They make those things look like nothing on TV. I immediately, jump into my imagination. I start waving it around, jumping around corners, yelling at people to stop, freeze, police. I, run and jump and combat roll my way into the backyard, imagining I'm on a chase, trying to tackle a perp who's just committed all sorts of terrible crimes. I land out in the backyard on one knee, aim straight in front of me, and just for a second stop. And I think about it for maybe a tenth of a second before I go, nah, this is fine. And don't move or I'm going to shoot. And then I pulled the trigger on the gun. Needless to say, I drop it immediately because it's a lot louder right in front of you than it is when you're watching it on TV. I wasn't ready for that. Not just the noise, but the force behind it. It shot back and I almost hit myself in the head. And of course, immediately the sound of a gunshot, both of my parents come sprinting out of the house and, see me lying flat on my back with a gun in front of me and immediately rush over and, my mom runs over and grabs it and starts walking away doing something with it. I can't tell. My dad picks me up and starts checking me over, are you okay? What's going on? And then once he realizes that I'm fine, he looks over and sees the hole in the fence at the end of the yard. And at that point, he goes from being that caring father into being that military leader, and he just loses that warmth and that emotion. He picks me up, drags me back into the house, and with him, both him and my mom sitting me down in the kitchen, they both start just absolutely laying into me that what I did was wrong and irresponsible and incredibly dangerous, and you could have hurt or killed yourself, or you could have hurt or killed somebody else, and just on and on. And I was, at that point, absolutely scared out of my mind. I was, crying. I knew that, I had done something wrong, but I didn't totally understand because, I was one of the good guys. And, that's what I saw all the time on the TV, were the good guys running around shooting their guns, and they never got in trouble for it. So it was really hard for me to understand, really what I did wrong. Needless to say, I wasn't allowed to watch TV for a while. And after that, my parents were very, very strict about I wasn't allowed to go into their room. And when I was allowed, they had to be there with me. And I wasn't allowed to go into the closet. And I couldn't touch any of the drawers. And I, couldn't go snooping around anywhere in the house. And for a while, the closets became off limits. And, it was really annoying because I'd, use those, especially the closets in my mom and dad room, because they had, that big closet that I could go and hide in. And it was annoying, to say the least. But again, it took me a long time to realize just how serious, shooting off a loaded gun in a residential neighborhood is. And while for a while I was fairly angry at my parents for blocking me out of a huge chunk of their life because of it, I went through the phase of, it's their fault. They left it out. They shouldn't have had it there. At some point you realize that, okay, maybe part of that was on me. But we never really got back to where we were before that. And ever since, my parents have always kind of just kept a side eye on me whenever I was around. And we're always really quick to, where is he? What were you doing? Just micromanaging a lot of my life to make sure that I wouldn't do anything like that again. And it only ever pushed me a little further away from them, especially once I hit those teenage years and we're like, I just want to be out on my own for a while. So it was hard. It was really difficult, but it's something I still think about a lot.
Okay. So as you sprint through Ricky's Bar and Grill with Lindsay's scream ringing in your ears behind you, you immediately fall back into that good guy mode, remembering how you dodged and weaved, trying to catch the bad guy. But a few steps from the door that leads outside, you suddenly wonder if you weren't the bad guy all along. Here you are with stolen property under your arm, and you know it can only lead to ruin, that whatever forces want this back, they won't stop until they get it. And so you are locked in this stasis, again, between two states of being, two states of morality. On one hand, you are the good guy attempting to stop something that you don't fully understand, but you sense is evil. And on the other hand, you are breaking rules that will probably put other people in danger. But you've come too far now. And you reach for the front door to Ricky's. And you're quite sure you hear someone say, "Drop it, or I'll shoot." But it's your own voice coming from behind. It sounds like it's being yelled from far away in the deepest recesses of your brain pan. It causes you momentarily to half turn just as a bullet splinters the door frame to your right.
Holy shit.
And you are whirled backwards through the door, and you fall flat on your back, just as you had when you pulled the trigger when you were 7 years old. Panting, breath knocked from you, and a shadow falls over you as you lie on the sidewalk. You wait for the death blow, and a sudden squealing noise fills your ears, followed by a hiss. And then a voice says, "Hey kid, you getting on or what?" As the shadow of the bus behind you waits for this one last pickup.
Gonna sit there for a second, kind of letting the haze clear away. The vision's a little bit blurry. Shake my head. And then I'm going to kind of roll over to attempt to get my footing before I head down the front steps and start sprinting for the bus.
All right. And the bus is cool inside. The welcoming shade. You can see, you can hear behind you someone about to broach the front door of Ricky's. And then the door shuts behind you with a hiss. And you realize you are the only one on the bus. But the bus driver is familiar to you. He says, "Hey kid, take a seat. Odeon Studios? The usual?"
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
All right, be there in a few minutes. 4 minutes to be exact. And it pulls away as you see two large forms rush to the sidewalk and look after the bus. All right.
So there was a shade on the bus?
There's a shade. Pull it on the shade. So Rosa.
Gotta love the smell of LA public transit.
Absolutely.
Stale piss.
Rosa, you find yourself in a very strange position. You are...
Oh my.
You are on the second floor
Okay.
of the mansion in one of the rooms that the door was locked previously, so you were not able to fully...
What do you mean my lockpicking skills so high I couldn't pick any door?
My lockpicking skills brings all the locks to the yard.
Yep.
One of the smaller antechambers off of Lilith's bedroom is now open. You are seated at a small table. The room is decorated in crazy floral print. It has toucans on the wallpaper. There are palm trees. There are actually 2 or 3 potted palm trees in the corners of the room. It has a very tropical vibe. The table that you're sitting at is a very small
Are the toucans playing steel drums?
They are. They're playing steel. Actually, yeah, she has a hi-fi on, and it's Jamaican music, the steel drums, on an LP, just playing through some very tinny speakers, which is fine.
All of a sudden, I hear the strains of "La la 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 la, kiss the girl."
Yeah,
She's over on the corner shaking up a couple of drinks, pouring them into tiki.
Yeah, smoochy, smoochy.
actually, Lilith is here, and she has one of the cultists has brought in a tea set, and it has a pot of hot water and some cream and some teacups and another pot of brewed tea. And Lilith has somehow, you don't remember this happening, she's wearing a very sort of stiff collared dress.
Oh, I totally thought you were going to say negligee.
Negligee.
I did too.
No, a very proper dress with starched collars. And you look down and you are dressed in the exact same fashion somehow. You don't remember changing at all.
Is she facing away from me or towards me?
The two of you are seated face to face across this small table, which is only maybe 4 or 5 feet round. It's a little circular table.
Okay.
And the cultist sets down the tea set and departs without a word. And then Lilith picks up the tea kettle, smiles at you, and says, "Shall I play mother?"
What I'm really tempted to say and what I really want to say are two different things.
Take. Go.
I don't know if your tea is safe for me to drink.
Well, what if I take a sip first?
That actually wouldn't help.
I can understand where you're coming from, but it is oolong imported.
Ooh.
I'm not a oolong. I don't think I've ever had oolong. Okay. I'll try it.
Excellent. I knew you'd come around. Milk?
No thanks.
All right.
Just
Straight
a
up.
couple sugars.
Nice. That's admirable. You're right. To allow the oolong to breathe and be itself is probably the wisest decision. I assume no sugar then.
No, just straight up.
Straight up. Nice. Neat, as we say.
The tea industry.
In the tea industry, yes.
I'd like my tea neat, please.
Exactly. She pours 2 cups of oolong, which smells divine. It's very fragrant, slightly fruity, and it awakens your senses. You take the cup and then realize that the hand that had the wound in it is now swathed in a bandage.
And I don't remember anything happening. I remember being at the front door and her putting her hand on my shoulder, and then I remember being here.
Yes. Okay. That is
Roofie.
Correct.
I'd like to say, oh, when did this happen?
Oh, well, I noticed that you had pricked yourself somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it best.
This old house full of splinters.
Yes, we've been meaning to have a carpenter come round with some sandpaper.
Mm-hmm.
But
the tool man? This old house.
This old house. But I thought it best to protect it from any possible infection.
Oh yeah. Can I feel my fingers inside
Yes. Yeah, it feels
You know how
more or
you can
less
still feel
normal.
your finger.
Mhm. No pain or anything, which is nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, did I feel pain when I saw the thing coming out of my finger?
I don't think you did. No.
Okay.
No more than normal. Because it was you cut your finger on that nail as it fell into the lock. And so there was a little bit of pain there, but it was minor.
Okay. Yeah, like
And-
paper cup pain.
Yeah. But just even that slight discomfort is now gone.
Okay. Do you know anything about what's inside of me?
Oh, that's sweet.
And Lilith smiles and takes a sip of her tea, watching you the entire time, unblinking. Why, I am, of course. Can you feel me?
Guillermo?
Who is Guillermo?
Then no, never mind. I'm gonna take a
curious.
sip of tea. And while my head, I'm gonna like take a little sip and then lower my head. And while my head is lowered, can I can't really
Do it.
my clothes are changed, aren't they?
Oh, these are closed, thank God.
Well, no, I
Yes,
okay,
your
I
clothes
had a
are
ho-ho
changed.
in my pocket.
Yes, your clothes are changed.
Mhm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I would no longer have the pocket and therefore no longer have the ho-ho.
Unless it's nature's pocket. Are you keystering it? Oh, it's a little sticky.
Right?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Hold on, let me get this ho-ho.
Yes, much to your chagrin, as you lower your teacup after the sip and realize, oh, these are not my clothes, and that ho-ho is elsewhere.
These are not my beautiful clothes.
She is not my beautiful mom. Lonnie.
True.
How is the tea?
You're not my
Good,
real
right?
mom.
Okay.
Jeremy loves it. We're so apprehensive to give any answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like war games. The only winning move is not to play.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will say to Liz, I'd like to get to know you.
Really? Well, I'm flattered.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, as you know, I'm Lilith Devereaux, and I run this cult. We've been, working on this for about 10 years now. And I'm really proud to say that we're just on the verge of taking over the world, but maybe not quite yet. We need some time and money and actually more followers would be great,
So what is your connection to Ben?
Oh, Ben, he is something special, isn't he? How long have you known him?
Long time.
He is something not of this earth. Nothing that I've seen before, anyways. Did you know about
What do you
his power? He called it, I think, the Reach.
Nope, never heard of that.
The reach around.
Roll deception for that one.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, so that would be, what's the equivalent?
Drive auto.
Lockpick.
Psychology. Yeah.
Oh, psychology. Yeah, you're right. So go ahead and give me a psychology roll.
Okay. I've got a 67 in psychology.
Nice. Come on.
That's a success. It's barely a success. I rolled a 65.
Lovely. She says, oh yeah, I guess maybe he is the only one who has this special power, but there's something within him that allows him to communicate with others. And I'm trying to refine that power, harness it in a way that would be beneficial to me and my family.
Your family.
Yes, the cult. The family with a capital F.
Oh, found family. Okay.
Maybe you've heard of this other guy. What is his name? Manson.
Nope, never heard of him.
I think he was in all
Roll
the
for perception.
news.
Roll
Yeah.
psychology.
He kind of got the whole concept of the family wrong. I like to be more inclusive, and here we are. We're just part of the family.
I am gonna cop to knowing about Manson because I'm gonna ask her. You're not gonna try to start a race war, right?
No, she's not that kind of family.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think that cults have gotten a bad rap lately, and we just want to be of one mind, of one purpose, and honestly, just to make more great films.
So what's the deal with SÉANCE 9?
Oh, you mean the movie? That little movie that you guys found?
Yeah, sure. Why are you in it? Why is someone who can't be Ben but looks exactly like Ben?
Oh, that's his dad, Hans Gruber. He was a really nice guy until he died.
Who was Hans Gruber?
Well, he was, a gentleman I knew in my previous life, or this body's previous life. And, he was really just looking to get a break in the business. He sort of got a break, but it really wasn't in the business. It's kind of his neck, really. Didn't mean to do it, but kind of surprised me.
Did you kill him?
Yeah, I mean, well, kind of. Like I told Ben, kind of his fault. He shouldn't have tried to be the hero.
Oh, so you did tell Ben that you killed his father?
Yeah, I told him. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so we're all up front.
Yeah, I'm totally honest with you guys. I mean, if you guys are going to be part of the family, I want you to know all my secrets. I mean, that's what families do.
If we're being up front, you aren't really Lilith Devereaux, are you?
I mean, that's my new name, and really, what are labels? Come on.
But
it's the 70s.
I'd like to know what your old name was.
What was my old name? I'll tell you
as soon as I not Maud.
Oh, Maud. Yeah, Maud Mitchum.
You're not her either.
Well, no, the body is hers, or was hers.
Well, okay, but you. I don't want to know about the body. I want to know about you.
Well, that's looking beyond the surface. Thank you. I appreciate that. We are family, so yeah. I'm not from here. I'm kind of from a different. How do I describe it? Like there's veils and there's like a call around this world, and if you go beyond that, but you can't quite go beyond that because you need certain abilities to go beyond that. But on the other side of that wall, that call, that veil, is in many other dimensions. And I'm just someone who, I tested the waters. I tried to get through a long time ago, and someone trapped me in that
Were there mushroom people?
Ouija board.
Are there mushroom people where you're from?
Mushroom people? No.
Not the Luigi board.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Not a wedgie board.
Mushroom people, are those a thing? I guess they probably are a thing. I mean, if I'm a thing,
like a sentient mushroom
vegan
that can turn into something that looks like a human.
Sounds disgusting.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't muck with those guys.
We fucked them up.
Good for you. High five.
There's another
Look at the elbow.
in your hand.
Look at the elbow.
With the elbow. Look at the elbow. And the pleasant veneer on her face melts away. Rosa, we need to get down to brass tacks. Your friends have something of mine. and I want it back.
I'm listening.
Let's make a deal, you and I. If you agree
Okay.
to become my proxy tonight at 11:59 p.m., when the stars are right, I will spare your friends' lives. If you refuse, those friends are going to have a lot of angry cultists to deal with. Also, their families and their friends and whoever else.
I want to know what they have that you want.
They have a film. I believe one of them, probably Diego? He seems like the type. If Skelos
Oh, yeah,
is
he's got
correct.
sticky fingers.
Yeah. He took a little something from the Star
Sticky with
Theater.
ho-ho juice.
Well, who can blame him?
Let me get mine.
And if you're able to agree to this, I will leave your family untouched as well.
What would be required of me?
I won't lie to you. It might be a little painful. But I would need to enter your body in my true form.
You
don't
still
threaten me
didn't tell
with a
me
good
who you
time.
were.
You can call me a goog.
Betty.
Frederick. Okay. Fred.
Many of your philosophers through the centuries have referred to us as Gug.
Good.
I don't really have a name per se. I've never really had a name until I've inhabited these mortal coils. But authors of odd fiction through the centuries have referred to us as
Racist
Gug.
dudes with cats?
Yes, those guys, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Bastards.
Although I'm not sure that this is actually a Lovecraft concoction. It might be one of his proteges. Does that answer your question? And I know this is really a rough bargain to consider, but at least you...
I have to say I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I understand it's a lot to swallow, but think of all the people you'd be saving if you agreed to this, including CC. I would leave them untouched afterward. Promise. Pinky swear.
Mm.
But pinky swear. Um,
I'll tell you what. At least consider it. We've got a little bit of time before we have to depart for the theater. Enjoy the rest of your tea, and when you're ready, come on downstairs.
okay.
All right, I'll leave you to it. And she leans down and kisses your cheek.
And I turn my head and make it full.
Full contact. Yeah.
Put some tongue in there.
And she turns away and closes the door behind her, and you can hear her footfalls receding.
Do I hear the door?
But hurry, this offer won't be around for long.
Say again.
Call
Marissa?
now and we'll throw in.
Do I hear the door lock?
You do not. No, simply latch.
Okay. And I didn't hear her talk to anyone inside the door.
Nope.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So once she's gone, I'm going to pour out the rest of the tea. because I still don't trust it. And I'd like to go listen at the door.
Okay. Go ahead and make a listen roll.
Okay. Because I'm so good at these. Hold on a sec. Not too bad. Oh, I succeeded. Just barely. Again, with a 24 under a 25.
Lovely.
Check mark.
You hear her receding footfalls. It sounds like she's left out her bedroom and is walking down the stairs.
I would just like to see if there's anyone outside the door. Can I hear anyone in the
You
hall?
do not hear
or outside?
anything else. No.
Okay. I'm going to slowly open the door
Okay.
and peek out.
You see her bedroom, as you saw it previously. On her bed are your clothes.
Ooh. I'm going to go look at my clothes and see if the ho-ho is still in the pocket.
It is.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to take the ho-ho. It's probably a little mushed. I'm going to take, I don't know, a mouthful of ho-ho.
Okay. And it tastes delicious. That chocolate and cream filling, the faux Swiss roll just filling your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel a tingling in your finger.
In my finger. Okay.
Oh, my finger. Damn.
That's no finger.
Do the clothes I'm wearing right now have pockets?
Sure.
Okay. I would like to slip the ho-ho in there.
Okay.
In the clothes pockets, not my prison wallet, okay?
Yes, got it. Got it.
And then I would like to is my hand wrapped in such a way that I can slide the bandages off, or do I have to like unwrap it?
No, it seems like you could probably slide it off with a little bit of effort. Sure.
Okay. I'd like to slide it off and look at the finger, the offending finger.
The offending finger. It looks as though the wound has completely healed, and as you watch, as you feel the sugar settle into the bottom of your stomach, just a little vein of black ichor disappears from beneath your skin.
So it probably got rid of whatever that was. I hope.
Or made it more powerful.
Okay, so I am going to there's still a floor that I haven't explored. So I'm going to go up. So I'm on the 3rd floor right now?
You're currently on the 2nd floor of her quarters. Yeah, 3rd floor,
Okay.
is as far as you guys got. And that was
Mannequins.
the mannequins and so forth. Yeah.
Fucking mannequins. Okay, I would like to sneak up the stairs, and I'm going to bypass the 3rd floor entirely.
Okay.
Because I got to that one. So I would like to go up to the top floor.
Okay. And we'll leave you there, creeping up
Bye.
to the 4th floor. And so we'll go to Ben, Cece, and Harcourt as you reach Odeon Studios.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna pull up. There's the alley that's just around the side of the building. I'm gonna pull the car up there.
Well,
And just
finally, your
try to
pants
hide
are
it a
around your
little bit.
ankles.
True. I'm gonna tell them to stay here for a second. I'm gonna run up to the door and see if Yu is in there so I can get in before we all get out of the car.
So you park in the alleyway and run back up to the front door.
Right.
And look around.
Hiding the car, basically.
Yep. Run around. You run around to the front. And first for a moment, you hear a siren in the distance that you think is coming closer, but then it recedes just a few blocks away. And you see, looks like there was a note attached to the front of the door beyond the window.
All right, I'm going to read the note.
It says, closed till Monday. But then underneath that, handwritten, it says, Ben, check the flower pot.
Oh, I go back to the car. We drive back to the dorm and check the flower pot.
No, there is a flower pot just to the right of the stairs leading up into Odeon Studios, where you know that occasionally UU has hidden a key.
Yep. I will move a little bit of the dirt around on the top and then be like, what am I thinking? And tip the flower pot up on its side a little bit and look underneath.
And there is the key to the front door.
Like, there it is. Put the flower pot back over top of it and get in the car and drive back to the dorms.
Yeah.
Grab the key, and I'm going to not open the front door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to walk back around to the car. All right, I've got the key. Let's go. Let's get her inside.
Okay, good. Did you find the key? Did he hide it again?
Yep.
Oh, I told him this stupid spot to hide it things.
Yeah, he not only
Jesus
hid it,
Christ.
he left a note saying where it was.
Oh, he must have just left it, maybe. I don't know. Okay, well, let's get in.
All right, so we grab Cece out of the back of the car as gently as we can.
And she does seem to be rousing a bit. And she's, a little sleepy and maybe a little tongue-tied, but she does seem to be walking on her own steam now.
Good. Cece, we're going to get you inside here. We'll find you some clothes and some water, okay?
Okay. Where's Rosa? Where is she?
Rosa didn't make it out, but we're going to go back for her as soon as we get you safe.
Oh God, Jesus! That lady. She wanted to be inside me. She said.
Yeah, she's not a lady. We'll explain everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go. And the three of you go to the front door, unlock it, slip inside, lock it behind you, tear down
the note off.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And immediately CC, who has been here before, makes her way up to the wardrobe floor to find some clothes, leaving you two down below.
All right.
I'm
going to search for some
office.
snacks and water for her and set them on the desk.
Yep. You managed to scrounge a few things, and all the while Harcourt is keeping up a pattern. Ben, what are we going to do? We got to get Rosa back.
Of course, we're going to get Rosa back, but we have to do it. We have to be smart about this. She is extremely powerful.
Oh, geez, I know. I mean, she kept talking about like this great and powerful Cthulhu or something, and I mean, I know she has like creatures at her beck and call, but I can't imagine if like there's this other thing out there.
There's not another thing out there. You don't have to worry about that.
What do you mean?
I mean, the other thing was you. He was tricking her.
What?
The other thing was you.
So the great and powerful Cthulhu was you?
Yes.
That tracks. And as soon as he says that, you hear the front door open.
Did I put the key back under the flower pot?
And you both turn around to see Diego, who has easily picked the lock.
Diego, what the hell is going on? What?
I got the film, guys. I'm gonna show him the canister.
What the hell is that?
Oh, it's just the movie that she was gonna show at a theater tonight, and now I got it. Sidebar: you don't happen to have a lighter or matches on you, do you?
You want me to roll? I'll go to the store right next door. See if this lady will sell it to me.
Right, exactly. No, but come on, guys. We've got to let's get CC down here. We got to come up with some sort of plan because we only got one episode
my plan
left.
is to destroy this.
That's the plan. That's going to get Rosa back. You don't understand. She's got Rosa.
She has Rosa.
Oh shit!
I think we should go to the theater and watch it.
Well,
I do have an idea.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Diego?
He's all ears too. He's got two of them.
Oh, I thought he was all ears.
Fire.
Let's go up to the theater. Let's transfer that film onto another reel and put something else on this reel. If we have to make a trade, they'll recognize what it looks like, but they won't know the film until they play it.
So what if we destroy this one and then we replace it with one of the weird ones that Yu has up in the storage?
I love it. I just wish we had the original Session 9 that we watched.
Seance 9?
Seance 9. Maybe it would pull her back in or something. The film's gone. So
what's on that one?
The 9th session?
Yeah, I think I saw like posters and stuff for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she's been advertising for it all over town.
Oh,
there's something bad going to happen once it plays.
Oh yeah.
Like what?
We don't know, but
Something
she has
bad.
all the powerful people in the city coming to it
Oh
to view
yeah.
it.
No.
A special viewing tonight at midnight.
Well, yeah,
I got shot at Ricky's. That's all I'm saying.
It definitely said like premiere, but what is it? Is it like? I mean,
come on, Harcourt.
We watched
Session
the other.
9, Seance 9.
Which is it?
You're not seeing the similarities in the title.
Yeah, I understand that. But I mean, if it was Lilith's and that's her star-making debut, and you're gonna fuck it up, what does that mean for Rosa?
That's why we're coming up with a plan.
Yeah, we're talking right now about this plan.
Everyone shut up. And I'm going to reach into my back pocket and I'm going to hand Ben the notes that I found in the trash, the note that I found in the trash can in the theater.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, I don't have those.
It's the note that says that that she's severely allergic to ho-hos.
I take the note and I stretch it out and I face it to Harcourt.
Okay, she's allergic to ho-hos. Yeah, we sort of knew that already.
Oh, you knew that?
Well,
why
yeah.
didn't you say anything?
I told Rosa.
Rosa's not here, Harcourt.
I mean, we're not allowed to have ho-hos, and it sort of like offsets her powers somehow. We don't really know how.
Great. So we pelt her with
doesn't matter
ho-hos.
how.
Have you figured out how, Ben? Was there anything you recently saw in the last episode that may have
splat
that you want to share with the rest of the group? About you or about the ho-hos?
About the ho-hos?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have known that until this note, why that ties in.
Right.
So here's where it's coming. You ready?
Yeah. Yes. Let's see this.
Hey, guys. I really like ho-hos.
Oh, me too.
No, me
yeah,
too.
They really are the
we
best.
should go get some. Yeah, all right.
We should
let's take
start a
ho-ho
ho-ho club.
Thanks, Easy.
Fuck Hostess pies. Oh.
I don't think you can unless they're warm.
The fruit pies. The fruit pies. Yeah.
Fruit pies.
Fuck them.
Guys, she took me up to the top of the mansion.
Oh, thank God.
And there were clothes. She took me behind the movie screen. There's a theater up there. She took me behind the movie screen and up another half flight into the attic.
Yeah.
And she had me contact an elder one, what she thought was an elder one.
Oh, damn.
Hey,
It was
Diego.
you.
Diego was you. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to steal your thunder.
Wait.
Oh, you didn't. I said it first.
You is pretending to be one of them elder old things.
Yes. And it was a complete accident that he stumbled upon this. And that he actually made contact with Lilith. And he's going to try to help us how he can, but we all know you. He's probably hiding somewhere.
Oh, actually, didn't he say like he was going to meet you somewhere?
At Odeon Studios.
No?
At the he's gonna meet. He wanted to meet me at the theater at midnight for the premiere.
After dark.
After dark.
Lovecraft tapes.
Before
after
the
dark.
premiere.
Before the premiere.
With your big plan that you've had a week to plan out.
I had a week
So
to plan out.
here's what I'm thinking. We're going to get some slingshots. We're going to get some ho-hos. And then as soon as Lilith shows up, ho-hos into slingshot, boom, right into her face. Problem solved.
I think it needs to be inside of her. They were trying to do research on it. When I left the attic, there was a film queued up, and I played it. It was an advertisement for ho-hos. And they were trying to figure out what ingredient that is going to counteract Lilith's powers.
So that film mentioned what the ho-hos were made out of? Maybe that was the clue.
It did. Let me turn back 6 pages and we'll find out.
Because I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know.
Or somebody could just tell me so I don't have to. You don't realize every episode is like 15 pages of full notes. I don't want to miss a detail, but
Would you like to see my notes?
You want to
Both those things track.
is it what the hell was it? I'm not gonna find it. Shit, what was it? It's a common thing that you can get.
Iron.
Yes.
Maybe ferrous sulfate?
That's what I was trying to remember. Ferrous sulfate.
Ferris Bueller?
It's Ferris Bueller
Ferris?
sulfate.
Ferris?
She's severely
Ferris?
allergic to Ferris Bueller.
So Ben, did it tell you? Did this film tell you anything useful?
Iron is the key ingredient.
Okay,
oh,
yeah,
boy.
that makes sense. Well, everybody needs iron.
I think I
but
got
too
some
much
rusty
iron
nails
can
around
kill
here
her.
somewhere.
Oh, well, she's allergic to the iron.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it doesn't have to be ho-hos, guys.
Oh,
It has to be iron.
it has to be iron.
And what is the majority of the fencing and gates made in this city? What is it made of?
Aluminum.
Aluminium. Damn it. I gave myself away again.
What are you, British?
I'm British.
Okay, so she has she's deathly allergic to ferrous sulfate iron. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it sounds
Rusty
like
nails it is.
she doesn't like ho-hos, so sounds like she might need to ingest it, maybe?
Or something could go through her body.
Maybe.
Like a
Rusty
spear.
nails.
Or rusty
Awesome.
nails.
Are you great with spears, are you?
No, but Diego really wants to use rusty nails. So let's
I
just
got a
let him
slingshot.
do
I got a
that.
handful of rusty nails. What could possibly go wrong?
Ow.
Diego ends up in his ass again.
Why did I put it in my pocket?
And Cece is just sitting at the stairs watching the three of you shaking her head.
Yeah, we're not the
Oh,
best.
like you got any better ideas, huh?
Yeah, right.
She rolls her eyes and eats a ho-ho.
What, you want me to like put it in something?
I don't know. Who's got the ideas around here? You guys had a week to think about this.
Matt made himself laugh about it.
I do. I have the ideas.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
You're
you're
not here,
trapped
so shut
somewhere.
up.
Rosa is the idea maker.
Yeah.
All right.
I just had the
I'm the
answers.
sticky
Somebody else
fingers.
needs the ideas.
At this point, you hear something go tip tap tip tap tip tap tip tap on
Here,
the floor above you.
Shit, it's the feds.
You shit
It
the bed?
it sounds like something scampering up there.
The hell was that? Cece? You just came down from there. What was that?
She's like, I don't know, and she rushes down the stairs towards you guys, hides behind Ben.
Ah, fuck.
Time to
Really
use those
need-
rusty nails.
Guys, what was that? Sound like a, I don't know, squirrel or
Rat?
something?
Is that Rose's squirrel? There's no way. There's no way that could be
Hank?
Rose's
Wait,
squirrel.
what was his name?
Hank.
I think his
I
name
don't
was
remember what
Rust.
his
That's pretty
Rusty.
close.
I think his name was the exact same name as a character in this podcast once upon a time that Brian
Hmm.
played.
Hmm.
But
Wonder who it could
Hubert.
be.
memories.
Sam.
And as the
Jack?
four of you watch and try to recall the name of Rose's pet,
Samantha.
a squirrel comes down the stairs, blip, 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 and sits on the landing, looking down at you, and sits up on its haunches and looks at you
What?
and says, I've got a message for you.
Jesus
Holy
fucking
shit, I was
Christ.
just going to joke these
Get
things
away with
perfect
what?
English.
And you're not gonna like it. Bring the film to Star Theater by dusk, or you'll never see your friend again. Or
I'm going to chuck the film canister at it.
keep the film and pray for a quick death. Toodles! And the squirrel
Explodes?
devolves into a familiar putrid slime. And Harcourt immediately goes, hey, it looks like the stuff that they made us eat. You think it was squirrel? Do squirrels have hooves?
Squirrels have hooves.
And then he
Oh.
turns around and pukes.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
Yeah, have a ho-ho.
He stuffs it in his ass. He's
Woo!
in one end and
Suppository
coming out the
ho-ho.
other.
I hear it works faster that way.
Okay, guys,
Moving that ho-ho.
they definitely know we're here.
Oh, well, I guess that means we're on the clock, huh?
All right, so now is the time that we can take a few moments for you to, and if Rosa wants to pitch along, or if Lupine wants to pitch in too, come up with an idea for how you're going to rescue Rosa tonight at Star Theater.
I like destroying the film and then just putting a different film in the canister just so we have something to bargain with.
Am I going to be at Star Theater? I didn't think I was going to Star Theater.
Why you're dressed up? You're going as her date. Actually, you're going as her.
11:59 p.m.
You're going to go as her if you let her.
You'll become,
Oh, yeah.
she'll become you at 11:59 p.m. when the stars are right at Star Theater.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, we don't have enough time to put stuff into the sprinkler system, which there's probably not even a sprinkler system.
Inside the theater? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty wild to do, wouldn't it? But hey,
Yeah.
we're here
That
to
would be super
spitball.
cool.
Yeah.
Put a bunch
Anything
of
can
iron
happen.
shavings into the sprinkler system and then
Right.
turn on the sprinklers.
Yeah,
and-
come up with a
There's-
If
outlandish
there were gonna
plan.
be freshmen,
The
you
science-
could
the
like try
science
to.
lab
The
at
crazier
the
is
school
better.
has to have some, right? Some
Can we, like,
powder.
Put a bunch of powdered iron into like the air ducts and then turn on the air conditioning and poof.
Why not put it on in the popcorn?
Is she going to eat the popcorn though?
I don't
she
know.
might just not
I
eat the
don't know.
popcorn.
Yeah.
We'll put it inside her Senor Mints. Nobody can resist.
senior mints.
No, it's Senor Mints.
Senior mints.
Senor means.
Senior mints.
Senor.
Yeah, honestly, the crazier the
Taste
better.
of Mexico.
I wonder if the sprinkler system thing would work. I mean, we can do it in multiple things. It doesn't have to be in.
It's not interior. I'll point that out. I think all the clues have pointed that whatever it is needs to be ingested
Right.
or somehow
But
inside her.
Water goes in, but yeah.
Yeah, eventually.
I mean, if we do it
in
if we do it in the ducts and then it's just like a floating cloud and she inhales,
yeah.
I like your
technically
idea,
that's
Phoenix.
going in.
It is in. Yeah.
Mm. All right, more ideas. Keep going.
So I was gonna try to get her to drink a cup of tea with me again and put some hose in the tea, but last time it didn't work that well, like dissolving in the soup.
Right.
So Rosa doesn't actually know about the ferrous sulfate.
Mm-hmm.
She only knows ho-hos.
Ho-hos.
Yep.
So that was part of my plan. I was trying to think of a way to get up to the next floor.
I have an idea, Rosa.
Yeah.
It's pretty out there, though. It might be very, very, very dangerous.
I like out there.
I mean, she can't actually hear you, but sure. Go ahead.
Mhm.
No, that's fine. You guys are, as players, go ahead.
As player,
Hmm?
you're thinking, right, that you know it's a ho-ho that can do it.
Okay. Yeah.
If you agree to let her take over your body, and as it's happening, you eat a ho-ho.
Will I have enough control at that
I
point?
don't know. That's why I'm saying it's or right before. It's still in your system.
I could do right before.
She won't be able to take your body if you have it in your system. It's a protection at least. At least it's something to protect you.
Actually, that was my next thought.
Yeah.
And you know where Harcourt hid his
Yep.
ho-hos.
Just eat a bunch of ho-hos.
I could just pound ho-hos.
Mm-hmm.
Don't threaten me
Probably
with a
eat
good
them, though.
time.
Yeah, okay.
Suppository ho-hos.
Ooh,
So-
you could hide one there. She wouldn't know it's in you, and then she goes into your body, and it's already there.
Mhm.
There's no quicker way to absorb it.
That's true. That's why I butt chug.
Soak your tampon in
But
ho-hos.
chug ho-hos.
Well, I don't think it actually has to be absorbed. Like, I think it's just be in my stomach, theoretically. I mean, if we're getting
It'll get there
really
eventually.
scientific about it, we don't know.
Just need a snake.
Yeah. Does it need to make its way down to my small intestine? Or
problem is
could it just
none of
make
us-
it down, like my stomach?
Right.
Could it be absorbed through the mucous
you just
membranes
ate a
of my
little
mouth?
bit, and it got rid of it, and it got rid of it quick.
Right.
You know.
Right.
The problem is
So-
we're not going to get close to her at all
Yeah.
to do anything physically to her to get her to ingest something or to shoot her up with a needle or anything.
Yeah.
My other thought was putting a liquid with the, I can't say it, the rust in it.
Ferrous
The
sulfate.
Iron, yeah. Ferrous
Mhm.
Bueller sulfate. And then injecting her somehow, but we're never going to get close enough to do that.
Yeah.
I guess it comes
or
down
you
to
could
how
put like
much
rust water in the sprinkler system.
But so Ben, but what if you had 2 syringes and you had a rope tied around and you were in the rafters and you swung down just at the right time?
Just at the right time.
I'm
No,
saying,
Mission
guys,
Impossible.
go crazy.
It could
Next
work. It could
time
work.
is the finale. So go
I guess
crazy.
it comes down to how much do we need? Because
Yeah.
if it's just a small amount, who's to say we can't like?
A fair amount. One ho-ho ain't gonna cut it.
I think
Okay,
that
I was
it's
thinking
her.
like iron tip darts, and then just like
Oh, gotcha,
stick her
yeah.
with a bunch of.
And so
Probably
I
needs to
think
be a
that
lot.
our best option is for me to try to.
Why not many options?
Yeah.
Why? Do,
Because
how
we're
about
not going to
we
know what
load
you're
up-
and see.
planning. So.
Woohoo!
Okay. Here's an idea. We go and we mix up enough syringes for everybody to have 1 or 2, and then we all just try and go at her at the same time.
Ninjas.
Exactly. Well, you're coming at it from the front. I can drop down from the rafters. Harcourt can come up from the back. CC is on the left.
Mhm.
Is there anything we can do with the film? Like not the one that we're going to use as a fake film?
We're gonna hide. I'm gonna hide inside the canister. When she opens it, I'm gonna pop out and stab her.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have those
Happy
lights that burn
birthday,
the skin of
Deborah.
everyone at the Board Ape conference. Otherwise, we could use those. But
Crazier the better, guys.
I'm trying to think of something crazy.
well, so okay, where does the sprinkler system pull from in the Odeon?
You mean in
Does
Star
it pull from-
Theaters?
Well,
She's
We're
just
not
trying to
gonna
get
be able
an equal
yeah.
sort of
so We're going to
assessment.
have to, because we don't know. Obviously, we can't really go snooping around Starthier, and we can't
Right.
ask whoever's there.
I mean, I've already been
because unless you want to deal with Skelos again.
Yeah.
there. Skeletor. No, I took care of him once.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, what if Odeon is similar? So the sprinkler system usually pulls from a tank of water, maybe on the roof.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Like the sounds
yeah.
of that.
Most did.
So
yeah.
what? Dump a bunch of powdered iron into the
I'm
tank
definitely
on the
not
roof?
thinking about the
Set off
dead
the
woman in
sprinklers?
the water thing.
Oh yeah,
Dark
I
water.
remember watching a thing on Netflix
Yeah.
about that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And several movies.
Elisa Lamb
Starring Jennifer Connelly.
Mhm.
Yes. So
Spoiler alert.
we could potentially maybe put something in the water supply for the sprinklers. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
We could. I mean, you're right. We could try a bunch of different things.
Let's just set it up like we're doing Lost
Let's
Boys.
just
We're gonna have
throw
squirt
spaghetti at
guns
the wall.
with water in them in the fluid. We're gonna taint the water up on the roof. We've got about
Yeah,
3
let's
hours to
Summon
get
the-
this done.
I'd put it in the air
Doom,
conditioning
doom,
ducts.
doom, doom,
Yeah,
doom,
you can do it
doom.
in the air conditioning ducts. You put bags of the. We just got to find it. I'm sure the science lab at the school has that.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Oh,
that
easy.
the water tank on the roof would be pretty accessible, whereas maybe the air conditioning ducts are not as accessible unless you.
Well,
Oh,
I
want
mean,
to
if
they're-
the intake is
They're
on the roof,
The air conditioning ducts are
Perhaps.
on the roof.
Yeah.
just need to find the right one.
Yep.
So, I mean, you guys could do that. I was gonna.
It's only one theater. Well, it
Yeah.
is the right one. There's only one screen.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And then we can always make syringes as a last resort
as a
backup.
backup. Yeah, if the. I mean,
I like it.
it worked
I like
pretty
doing
fast.
all
I
of
think
it.
you would know if it's not working.
We're going for option
Sort of.
D, all of the above.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go ahead and iterate those. We have Rosa is going to OD on
I'm going to
ho-hos.
pound ho-hos.
Pound ho-hos, just like your
Suppository
mom.
ho-hos even.
Diego is going to prep syringes as a backup.
Yep.
Syringes with powdered
Uh,
sulfate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Powdered sulfate solution. It has to be liquid
Powdered
if we're going to
ferrous
inject
sulfate.
it.
Yep.
Solution.
So just dissolve it. In
We
some
don't know if
distilled
it's
water.
we don't know if it's ferrous sulfate specifically or ferrous anything. So.
It is
Mhm.
ferrous sulfate. Well, I guess that's what they put in the.
Well, that's what I.
Yeah,
What I
it's,
mean,
it's because it's
does
such a
ferrous
high
oxide work or not?
concentration. Like
Yeah.
a single serving of ho-hos is 10% of your daily allowance of iron. That's a lot.
Right. That's a lot
Yeah.
for one ho-ho.
So Ben is going to, with Harcourt's help,
Mm-hmm.
poison the
air and the
sprinkler
water.
system,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, they can
and
hit the
Cece
sprinklers and the air conditioners.
CC
They
is going
defend
to
energy.
try to rig the air conditioning system.
Nice.
Sound right? Did I miss anything?
Yep. Nope. I think we got
That
it.
sounds about right.
Oh, I'm also going to run to the prop area in Odeon Studios and get us all each one of those squirting flower.
Oh, okay. I like
What are they
that.
called? What are they called? That for like a
Yeah, yeah.
prom?
For like a clown or
Yeah,
something.
clown.
Yeah.
Oh
Or
yeah, like a
flowers.
gag flower that when you
What are
squeeze
they
it-
called that you pin on somebody? to go to
corsage.
prom? Corsage.
Corsage. All right. Everyone gets a gag corsage
Put
with
that right in their mouth.
yep, ferrous sulfate. Okay. Sulfate. Okay, good. That gives me enough to go on that I can sort
Go
of
up to
rig
her and now.
some
Open your mouth, Lilith.
Exactly.
Here
that,
comes the choo choo.
that I can now go back and arrange for the skill sets that are going to be required to set all this stuff up.
Oh shit, we're not doing it then. No.
Well, I mean, each one is going to fail
Yeah.
or succeed, and
Right.
and then your implementation will have to take place as well.
Yeah.
So we'll
Cool.
take care of that next time, and we'll wrap this up now with Rosa creeping up to the 4th floor, where she is not at all surprised to see a screening room. And there is a film playing. The lights are dim. There is no one in the theater seating. There are probably maybe 20 or 30 chairs, all empty. But the projector is casting an image on the screen, and you hear the whir of the projector as the reel cranks out an image. And you can immediately tell that it is Seance 9. The same film that you saw at Odeon Studios.
Is it the whole thing that we saw?
Well, it's slightly different.
Okay.
This is being filmed from a different angle. A second camera. And it shows the behind the scenes. You can see the scene that you originally saw where the seance is taking place around the table, and the thing that happens, the thing that erupts from the medium, this creature. You get a better look at it now. It is monstrous, perhaps 10 feet high. It has what look like bark-like skin on its limbs, vaguely humanoid. It stands on stump-like legs. But there's something off about it. It's not the color of bark or a tree, and appears to be much more supple. And there is a vertical slit in the bulbous head, which reveal teeth and a dripping gray ooze from the throat as it dispatches Hans Gruber and the handsome man. And you see the cameraman, Owen Wilson. No, that wasn't his name. Owen.
I was going there too.
What was his name? Owen. Owen.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
I can't remember his name. I gotta hear someplace.
Wow.
It is Owen. Owen
yeah.
Benjamin. No.
Owen. Star Theater. Where's the love connection? Oh, there we go. Owen. Oh, I got Owen. Shit. What's his name? Planning.
Wow.
No, that's the wrong planning.
Owen Wilson. Oh.
Scenario.
I already said that.
Wow.
I do actually have some of those.
Wow.
Owen Odeon.
You want to see my notes?
Owen Butler. You see the cameraman, Owen Butler, race from the set out through the exit door, which you can plainly see because this is the back end of the location. You see the craft table with all of the fruit and sliced meats and cheeses and a couple thermoses of coffee. And you could see him racing off so quickly that he tips over the other camera, which falls into view. And it's almost like a domino effect. This camera also falls the other way. But you still get a much better view out through the exit door as you see Sid chase after Owen Butler with Madge? Is that her name?
Maud.
With Maud racing behind them. And then this thing roars and stomps through the doorway, reaches out and grabs Maud, and then begins to work itself into her mouth, into her gullet. Her body expands like a bloated tick.
Mm.
You can see her eyes jut from her skull. Her sanity clearly gone at this point. And then she falls over onto her back, her distended stomach like a pregnant belly thrust into the air. And that's when the film runs out, flapping loosely in the projector. And you hear footsteps approaching from behind. Thank you for listening to tape 10 of K17, Seance 9. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider writing a review on the podcast platform of your choice. Also, subscribe to our live streams at twitch.tv/LovecraftTapes or youtube.com/LovecraftTapes. Want to drop us a note of devotion? Please visit LovecraftTapes.com anytime to send a letter from beyond via our contact form. As always, the Lovecraft Tapes is brought to you in part by our generous supporters on patreon.com/LovecraftTapes. So thanks to all those folks. And I think we're getting due to name some of them in just a bit. Another day or two. Actually, next episode. Would you like to deepen our relationship? Chat with me, the cast members, and other fans in real time at discord.lovecrafttapes.com.
If anybody knows where I can get my hands on a mad scientist laboratory to mix up these syringes, I'd be really grateful if you could let me know at The Real Weird Kid on either Mastodon or Blue Sky, because, you know, with me, you got choices.
But you could, if you wanted to, go to my Linktree at Linktree/lupine_vendetta. And I changed the username. And you could leave me a note there, or you could get to my coffee, or you could also find out when I'm streaming next, which is this coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. I don't know when this is coming out. Sorry.
Next Tuesday. Day after tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. I'm playing Lone Star, which is a solo hack of Mothership, if you know the Mothership RPG. It's fun. And that's twitch.tv/lupine_vendetta. So come visit or leave me a note. Or something. And bring
I need
home
everybody's help in Discord. I'm looking for him. I've seen him 3 times. It's Busman. Help me find him. Leave me notes.
Until next time, roll for 11:59 p.m. Ba, ba, ba. All right, guys, that is going to do it. Thanks for everybody watching. See Phoenix Black up there. I see Brownie a date muffin. And appreciate you guys checking that out. And so we are actually off for 2 weeks. We're doing other business. And then we'll be back on the 28th, I believe. Is that correct, guys? I think it's the 28th for the finale. So that Sunday night, we shall be back. And we'll wrap this puppy up.
Puppies
named Otto because it's the same forward as backward.
Oh, Otto.
Poor little Otto.
Love you, Otto.
All right, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Yeah, see, my parents didn't tell me I shot a dog. Apparently his name was Otto.